up? It's your girl Yasmin, and today I'm coming with you. I'm not coming with you. I'm coming at you with another Storytime video. And this one is the time where I really feared for my life, okay? I really thought I was about to die. So, let's get into it. So, one night, my boyfriend and I was like, hey babe, let's go to the beach, right? And where I live, we live on a lake, but this lake is Lake Michigan. So it's just a huge lake. It looks like an ocean. I mean, Lake Michigan goes from Michigan to Indiana to Chicago. So it's that big, okay? And I think maybe Wisconsin probably, but I don't know. It's just a huge lake, okay? If you know anything about Michigan, Michigan has 5 Great Lakes, and Lake Michigan is where I live. So this is Michigan. I live right here on that side, and that is where Chicago is, and that's where I live on that side, okay? So one time I was like, hey babe, let's go to the beach. And if anybody knows me, they know I love water. I'm a water person. I love water. I love nature. I just want to be around water. I love water. Seriously, I do. So I went to so at our beach we have a pier, right? And basically it's like a long it's like it has like a lighthouse or some type of tower at the at the end of it, but it's like this long pathway that goes in like into the lake, but you can walk on it. And on this pathway, there's a taller part. Okay, so on the pathway, at first it has rails, and then you go to a different part that goes deeper into the water, but it just has like a tall part you can walk on, and then 2 sides that doesn't have like any rails. So we were walking on the pier, and I was all being jolly and, you know, being like, yeah, I'm not scared of anything, you know, I can do this, you know, I was low-key kind of trying to show out, you know, I was low-key trying to show out. I was like running and yeah, I'm jolly and woohoo, like, and then I walked past somebody and I seen somebody with a fish. And I've never really seen any fishes out of that lake, but there are people who fish. I know y'all see my nails, and don't come at me, okay? Don't come at me. I'm gonna get them done. Thank you. But anywho, so I seen this guy with a fish, and I was like, like I said, I've never really seen fishes in our lake, so I was like, whoa, there's a fish. I want to see it. And so when I went down to go see it, remember I told you there's a part that's high and then 2 other parts on the side that you can also walk on, but it doesn't have any rails. So I was like, so it kind of like goes down from the part that's higher, and then it's kind of lower to the water. So the day that I went to the beach, the water was basically higher. It was higher towards the lower parts of I don't know, I guess there were high tides, and it was higher towards the lower part of the part that you can usually walk on. Matter of fact, a lot of the beach was just basically water, when usually it's more beachy area, but it was more water. For some reason it had like high tides. I was just like, oh wow, high tides, there's a lot of water. I didn't really understand what that meant, but I was just like, oh, there's a lot of water tonight at the beach. You know, I've seen it like that, and it usually has something to do with the moon, but I don't know. But it was just high tides this night, right? And like I said, there's a guy with a fish, and I went down to the lower part so I can go see the fish. And I was like, ooh, a fish. I've never seen a fish before. Like at this beach, I want to see what kind of fish it is, how it looks, and let me see what they got going on here at this beach. So guys, I go down to the water, and I see, and when I go down to the water, guys, I slipped and I fell on my back, and it was slippery, and I really felt like I was about to fall in the water, because the water the tides were, the water was basically getting on the part that you can walk on, and it was dark and it was at night. There was boats creating, there was a lot of boats on the side where I almost slipped into the water because they were waiting for the bridge to open. So there was like a lot of boats just waiting. And I'm going to insert some pictures at the end so you can see what I'm talking about. But it was just so crazy, guys. When I fell, my keys fell, my phone fell, my shoes fell out of my hands, and I fell like boom on my back. Like, I swear, I kid you not, that's exactly what happened. And I literally, then I was like, oh my gosh, when I realized that I was still on the pier and not in the water, I what did I do? I was like, help! And my boyfriend like just grabbed my arm, and I tried to get up, and I was slipping. He had to like pull me up with two arms, and I literally really could not get up. And there was a guy standing right next to me. He was the one playing with the fish, but he didn't slip. But I don't know, I guess where I was, I just slipped. And there were other people on the pier that were, you know, fishing on that lower part, and nothing happened to them, but I happened to slip. I was like, oh my gosh. When I tell you guys, I almost thought I was gonna die. And as much as I love swimming, as much as I love the water, I was scared. I was so scared. Because mind you, there's mad waves, and this is also a part where people have died on this pier, because people they like basically jump off the pier into the water and go swimming there. There was somebody else who died, and you know, somebody that I know made a comment and was like, oh, people who die on the pier, they're just suicidal or whatever. Like, I remember when someone died, that's what a comment was said about that. But really, and I heard, like, I guess one person, rest in peace, I don't really know that person well, but the one person, I guess, was out there in the rain, and they slipped. And when they slipped, they actually died. And like I said, rest in peace to that person. And someone was like, oh no, it's probably because they're suicidal. But no, it's literally slippery. So lesson learned is to don't try to be the eager beaver or the brave soul in moments like that. Like, I really, like, there's underwater currents. I used to love water, and I still do, but I'm more conscious of water because I didn't realize how dangerous it was. I didn't realize how much, like, the water shifting can be dangerous. And the currents under the water that you can't see, the flow, the air, there's like air underneath the water, low key, you know, pushing the water different ways. And if you're not a strong swimmer, you might die. And I just love water, and it scared me. And message here is just be careful, and don't feel too brave, or don't feel too, oh, I got this, I'm gonna show out. Y'all, that was a scary moment for me. I'm just happy that my boyfriend was there to help me in that situation, and God was there to help me, seriously. But yeah, that was my little story time. I'm gonna insert some pictures so you guys can see. And mind you, I also want to say this, guys, tell me why the day after this happened to me, I seen like a post that was going around Facebook that said, hey, be careful, the police are not going to close the bridge, the pier or whatever, but you know, they're going to let you go at your own risk. And there is a paper, like a sign that says go at your own risk, but be careful. And you know, I was like, whatever. So definitely read the instructions and read warning signs for sure. Don't ever like, well, whatever, and just because you see somebody else doing it, don't do it. Seriously, this is one of those situations where you have to be careful. And even though it was like a known thing, like be careful, because the waters are higher than usual, they still had it open. They didn't close it. But like I said, when you see warning signs, I didn't see it that day, but I seen it the day after. But I'm saying, just be careful of when there's warnings. Be careful, and sometimes it's really, really good to listen, you know? Sometimes it is good to listen to people. Sometimes it's not, but you just have to be wise and have discernment to really pick out what you should listen to and what you shouldn't. But that was definitely something to definitely listen to. I just disregarded everything. I was like, oh yeah, not gonna happen to me, I'm gonna be fine. No, something literally almost happened, but it's nothing but the grace of God. why I'm still here, and for having my boyfriend there. So yeah. But yeah, that's my little story time of the time where I almost feared for my life. But yeah, if yeah. Anyways, that's my little story time. Okay, bye guys. The freaks come at night. All these boats, y'all. I want a boat. Look at these people just chilling on a boat. I want a boat. Look at the guy, guys. He's on one of those paddle things. I love water. This is also fun.